Florida Governor Jeb Bush is flailing among Republicans, according to a Monmouth University poll reported by Talking Points Memo. Now, according to TPM, quote, Patrick Murray, director of the Monmouth University Polling Institute in West Branch, New Jersey, had a statement along with this poll saying, quote, the money train may be chugging for the Bush campaign, but the polling train has been steadily losing steam. Now, what does that mean? Well, it means that he's not doing very well nationally among the Republican base, whereas the money wing of the Republican Party absolutely loves him, and I'll get into that later. Now, TPM, according to the article, Bush, the establishment GOP's long-anointed pick for nominee, polled at just 5%, barely edging out Mike Huckabee and Rand Paul, who polled at 4%. Now, that's bad. People don't like Jeb. In fact, Bush, his standing has fallen in each successive Monmouth poll since July, where he was originally the leader in the lead spot, the frontrunner, with 15%, and then Trump came and Donkey Konged him on the head. And speaking of Trump, Donald Trump is crushing with 28%, followed by Ben Carson at 18%, Ted Cruz at 10%, Carly Fiorina, who slid since her debate performance, slid a lot. She is now down to 6%, tied with Marco Rubio and, Marco Rubio. Now, the GOP field, you got to understand too, GOP field is incredibly crowded. So that might have something to do with it. But the other part of that is that Jeb has a lot to do with it. And the fact that it doesn't seem like he really wants to be there. There's not really any enthusiasm with the Jeb campaign. Even Jeb Bush seems rather uninterested in Jeb Bush. I'm just saying. There's no energy there. And Donald Trump was right. He's low energy. He's not even there. And this is why I think he has the exclamation mark. I have found the true purpose, I believe, of the exclamation mark. See, instead of hiding his last name, which is Bush, maybe it's there to make Jeb seem a little bit more exciting by making you have to shout his name. Jeb! I don't know. Maybe. That's just a guess. Now, sadly for him, it doesn't seem to be working all that well. And to be honest, I think the only thing that's keeping him in the race is the mountain of money behind him. The corporate establishment is being poured into his campaign. Tons and tons of money from the establishment. According to FEC filings, his super PAC, Right to Rise, has received $103 million in donations. You wouldn't be surprised to find out that most of it comes from rich people. Very, very rich individual donors. Now, according to the filings, and they kind of break this down, about 500 donors gave more than $25,000 to the super PAC. But donations of less than $25,000 accounted for just $21.7 million of the total. Look at the other end of the spectrum, the high roller donors. 23 people gave more than $1 million to the super PAC, contributing a total of $27.3 million. Disproportionately representing very, very wealthy people and very wealthy interests who are giving the most money. Remember, this is a 6-month period, by the way. $103 million over 6 months, mostly dominated by rich people. And the general hasn't even begun. There's no nomination. There's no nominee yet. And that's when the real money comes out. So Jeb, he's raised a ton of money, but really doesn't have a lot to show for it. Essentially, you know, the funny thing, too, is the GOP establishment actually thinks that he's the front runner. They still think that. Oh, any day now, Jeb's going to pull ahead. Trump's going to self-destruct. He's going to pull ahead. I don't know, man. Maybe Trump will self-destruct. Maybe not. I think at this point, the establishment's getting a little nervous, especially since their boy, Jeb Bush, not doing very well. And it's because the base hates him. Over and over, the establishment has shown that it doesn't really care so much about what the base thinks, about what Republicans actually think or want. Remember, Republican voters, they actually do love Social Security. They don't want Social Security cut. Not for them. They want to increase the minimum wage. If you remember, the midterms where Democrats in southern states got destroyed, but those same states saw minimum wage increases get voted in by a majority vote, by the popular vote, by the people. They believe in climate change. There was another poll. 2 in 3 Americans believe climate change is happening. And you have Republicans, even Republicans wanting to do something about it, the Republican base. And yet here we have candidates given tons of money, right, to get voted into office, to give tax breaks to rich people. Do you think the average blue-collar working stiff that votes Republican votes these guys into office to see Goldman Sachs get a tax cut? No, that's not what they're doing it for. That's not what they want. The GOP establishment doesn't really care about what most of the base wants. When it comes to Republicans, they hate the establishment. And the establishment is what Jeb Bush ultimately represents.